Hey everybody, I'm Trubiak and welcome back to CC's Vinyl Closet, home to all things country music on vinyl record. I love listening to old country music and sharing the gospel of it with you. So if this sounds like your kind of thing, we're not going to waste any more time today. We're going to get right into today's very special installment. Let's go! I doubt there is anyone unfamiliar in the world with the name Elvis Presley. He is, after all, the king. I certainly grew up exposed to his songs by my dad, who was a big-time fan of EP, as he used to call him. For the longest time after my dad passed away, I couldn't really listen to Elvis Presley without experiencing something kind of bittersweet. So for the longest time, I actually stopped listening to him, until now. But my favorite songs by him have always been I Can't Help Falling in Love with You and Love Me Tender. Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfilled. For my darling, I love you, and I always will. I've now got a batch of old Elvis Presley records in my own vinyl collection, and today is the day that I introduce his debut album, Elvis Presley, as a way to truly honor its significance to the history of both rock and roll and country music. Elvis Aaron Presley, rest in peace, was born in Tupelo, Mississippi on January 8th, 1935, and he passed away at the age of 42 in 1977. He is regarded as one of the most significant cultural figures in the 20th century. Now, I don't plan on using today's installment to regurgitate the life story of Elvis. As we all know, it's been well documented in books and film. Today is about his monumental first album, but I will just say that I have always been moved by certain aspects to Elvis's life story, including how Elvis was born a twin, but how his twin brother Jesse was stillborn, leaving Elvis to grow up as an only child. And I always felt like that could have been something that profoundly impacted him for the rest of his life. Elvis also loved his beloved mother Gladys, who adored him and bought him his first guitar at the age of 10. Elvis notoriously grew up as a loner. He loved music, both playing and listening, especially to records by Hank Snow, Roy Acuff, and Ernest Tubb. He also absorbed himself in gospel music. By the time Elvis would graduate from high school in 1953, he'd set his sights on making his future about music. And boy, did he ever succeed. In 1954, he began his legendary singing career with the Sun Records label in Memphis. However, as the story goes, in 1955, his recording contract was sold to RCA Victor, and thanks to his debut record, he'd become an international sensation. And the rest, of course, well, it's just history. The album Elvis Presley was his debut studio album, released March 13th, 1956 on RCA Victor, produced by Sam Phillips. A lot of great musicians compiled the personnel on this album, including Floyd Kramer on piano, Chet Atkins on guitar, and 3 background singers, including a man named Gordon Stoker of the popular Jordanaires Quartet. Now, I'm really familiar with the Jordanaires, and I had no idea that they were this associated to Elvis. All of these people helped fill out this electrifying sound. If you can believe it, this album spent 10 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Top Pop charts in 1956. The first rock and roll album to ever make it to the top of the charts. And the first million-selling album of that genre. It was even certified gold on November 1st, 1966. So what I am most impressed by is is this record's cultural significance. It's a showcase of country, blues, and rockabilly, and boy, was he ever an impassioned singer. All that's left for me to really do now is highlight some of these fantastic recordings. Taking it right from the top, Elvis Presley's opening track would be the rock and roll standard, Blue Suede Shoes, written by Carl Perkins, who originally recorded it himself. Now, I did not know this, but apparently Blue Suede Shoes is considered one of the first rockabilly records, incorporating elements of blues, country, and pop.
Well, it's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Now go, cat, go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoes. Well, you can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoes.
So let's face it, Blue Suede Shoes is a rock and roll standard, and all the players on it sounded electrifying. Elvis would even go on to perform it on national television 3 times in 1956. While I'm thinking of it, there is a song on this album called I'm Counting on You, written by Don Robertson, just after Blue Suede Shoes, actually. And the only thing I really want to say about this song is that I am glad I discovered it, because it's a standout for me, because I don't think I've ever heard it ever before in all of the compilations and all of my years being exposed to him. And he sounds so beautiful on it, and the words themselves are beautiful too.
All the words that I let her know still could not say how much I need you so in every way. I hope you will guide me as only you can do. Hold my hands down beside me. I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you, dear, from the dawn of each day to always come through, dear, in your kind, loving way. If you knew just how deeply I feel the things you do, then you'd know how completely I'm counting on you.
I really got into the track I Got a Woman, which I found was written by Ray Charles and previously released by him. But Elvis did try releasing this song as a single in 1956, but I guess it didn't chart. However, it would go on to be a staple of his in his own shows for years. I love this song.
Well, I got a woman way across town. She's good to me. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Say, I got a woman way across town. She's good to me. Whoa, yeah. She gives me money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a kind of friend indeed. Say, I got a woman way across town. She's good to me. Whoa, yeah.
Actually, one of my all-time favorite Elvis Presley songs originated on this album, and I didn't even know it until picking this record up. I recall catching Elvis's comeback special when I was younger, obviously via my dad, who would have watched it, and I will never forget when I saw Elvis doing Trying to Get to You. Everything about it set me on fire. So I was very excited to rediscover it here. I now know that it was written by rhythm and blues singer-songwriters Rosemary McCoy and Charles Singleton. And I also now know that Elvis apparently recorded this at least 5 times in his career. Honestly, I think it remains one of my all-time favorites.
I've been traveling over miles, even through the valleys too. I've been traveling night and day. I've been running all the way, baby, trying to get to you. Lord above me knows I love you. riding through. When my way was dark as night, he would shine his brightest light when I was trying to get to you.
There are a lot of great tracks on this album. I even found he did a cover of Little Richard's Tutti Frutti and the popular song Blue Moon, originally written in 1934 by Richard Rodgers and Lorenz Hart. Did not know this. I mean, my first exposure to the song Blue Moon was in the movie Grease. You guys remember that, hey? And I've always enjoyed it. But I guess it took till now to appreciate how it was originally an international hit in 1961 by the doo-wop group the Marcells.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me singing a prayer for someone I really could care for.
I've read that Blue Moon's first crossover recording came from Elvis in 1956 when his remake was released as a single that went to number 55. I mean, now that I have fully experienced Elvis's first album and spent time looking back on a bit of that history, I can safely say that I've been able to appreciate Elvis, the King, for myself, and I personally can't wait to experience more of these records and the history. On this album, it's amazing just to hear this iconic masterpiece. Cover songs blend rhythm and blues and rock and roll with range, and of course, Elvis's natural magnetism is on full display. So that wraps up my initial thoughts today after this deep dive. How about you guys? What do you think of Elvis's debut record? What are your favorite Elvis Presley albums? Drop me your comments below, and I thank you all for watching and supporting CC's Vinyl Closet. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and until next week's installment, take care of you and take sweet comfort in the music.